Well, when Hamish came over in June, that was a great opportunity for the Scran young musicians. He helped them work on the sets that they already play, develop the way that they present themselves in public, and think about other ways of presenting Manx music. They also worked on the new piece that Hamish had composed for them, the Ned Maddrell's Whispers. And that was a lovely opportunity for them to try out playing Manx music in a different way, really. Hamish, because he's a multi-instrumentalist, he was able to work on their own performance skills. But I also think he gave them the chance to think about working as a group and how to develop the music that they're playing.
Hamish he wanted to know a lot about our culture whilst he shared some of his.
Our music is very much based on traditional things, but projects like this is a way to make new things and keep it interesting and alive.
I think certainly through the rehearsal process it was a journey for them. If you speak to them, they'll tell you that they learnt new techniques, new approaches that they've brought to it. I suppose from beyond the Manx tradition, from the wider Celtic world, they brought those new rhythms in and so on. So they've got that. So in a sense, there was that musical journey for them. From the beginning, I mean, as an outsider looking in, it was clear that Hamish got an instant rapport with them, and I suppose was able to pull them along with him and to get them to play the tune as he envisaged it being played, and also not only getting them to play it in the way he wanted it to be played, but getting them to play it so that they really gained from the experience of playing it musically. So the piece itself reflected that journey. So I think Hamish has done a great job. He's really keyed into Manx culture and seen where the culture is and how it's progressing and how it's going to develop. So I think it was a great success.
So we've just finished our second rehearsal with Scran, and we're in the Corran Hall just across the road from the Centenary Centre where tomorrow night's gig is. And we've been practicing and working on their own set, so some of their own Manx material, songs, and actually some original tunes and some Irish tunes. And it's really special because we've got Isla Callister, who used to play with Scran a few years ago, and she is studying at the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland in Glasgow, where I teach. And so she's back playing with the band again, which is brilliant. So that's really lovely. And we've been working on the commission that I've written for Scran, which is Ned Maddrell's Whispers. And Ned Maddrell was the last native Manx Gaelic speaker. So it's lovely to hear them working. They've been working on the piece. It's sounding lovely, and I'm really excited about it and looking forward to tomorrow night. And I'm very lucky to have Martin O'Neill from Glasgow area, and he's a tremendous bowring player. James Lindsay from Inverurie, an amazing double bass player that plays with Brebach. Callum McCrimmon, also from Brebach, on pipes and whistles. James Mackenzie from the Isle of Lewis, who's a tremendous tunesmith and piper and flute player. Megan Henderson from Lochaber, she also plays with Brebach, and she's an amazing fiddle player and Gaelic singer and accordion player and piano player, so very lucky to have her in the band. Ross Ainsley from Perth on pipes and whistles, and Ross and I have been working on many projects together over the years. He's a great tune writer. We've got Ryan Mackenzie from Buckie in the northeast of Scotland, and he's a great classical piano player. And on keyboards we've got Tom Gibbs, a Glasgow-based jazz piano player, and he's playing lots of Fender Rhodes and Wurlitzers and electric pianos. He's a great improviser. Some of my favourite musicians, and it's great just to come over to the Isle of Man and perform some of my music for the local people there and have such a lovely band with me. And since we first arrived in Peel, we've been getting stuck into some local Manx culture, including throwing ourselves off the highest part of the pier, which was pretty funny and cold.
We chose the river to open the music events of CeltFest 2017 because it seemed like such an exciting project. When Hamish offered to work with our young Manx musicians here and make that part of the show, it just seemed like the ideal way to open CeltFest, really. The festival's nearly 40 years old, but we're always looking at ways of referring to the past, but also how we can take Manx and Celtic culture forwards through new relationships, and this was the river sort of fitted the bill for that, and it was wonderful to have such amazing and well-known contemporary Scottish musicians actually come to the Isle of Man. With Scran, getting to play with them, I mean, that was a chance of a lifetime for our young musicians.
I think they're really, really good because they bring everyone together, and so you're playing with people who like the same things with you and you're getting influenced by them, and it's really encouraging being around that.
It was a really loud response at the end, and it was a response itself full of energy and, you know, heartfelt, I would say, you know, so it was quite clear that, you know, that the audience responded really well to both to the tune and to the way it was played. So yeah, hats off to everybody. It was a great performance.
It's important to have a sense of pride, I think, of where you're from, because it makes you a lot happier to live where you do, really, because gives you a sense of belonging to where you live.
And it's really, really fun to play. When you hear some Manx music, you can identify it as, you know, you feel something inside you because it's the kind of music that you've grown up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're playing with someone, it's like different to friendship. There's like something I find that when you're playing with people, you all become connected in a way. You're all doing something together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, the concert was fantastic. I think the audience all really appreciated it. Apparently there were tears at the end when people were leaving, and it was an inspiring concert, and certainly something that our young musicians from Scran are going to remember for the rest of their lives.